Hey, how's it going today? It's Frankie and with Funny Fridays. This movie is called Wieners. Let me tell you now, this movie is quality from start to finish. Possibly one of the most funniest movies I have ever seen. I kind of knew it was going to be funny by the name and by the title, what it's about. I didn't expect it to be this good. So it's about these three friends, Wyatt, Ben and Joel, and they all go in a wiener wagon. It sounds funny already. And they're doing this because they want to sort of confront a daytime therapist host, whatever you want to call it, basically a TV therapist, I'm going to call it, right? And the reason for this is because the therapist is sort of biased, right? And he's the one that sort of caused Joel and his girlfriend to break up, basically. And that's why they make the journey. The journey they make is so expected in a comedy like this. The scenes in it as well, I tell you, some of the scenes are crazy and they're hilarious, especially when Joel is, done the dumps at his house and Ben has to get him off with his chair, and Joel gets a call from his mum talking about his dog is doing something. I don't know what she specified, I don't know what she said exactly. That was also a hilarious bit. And then Wyatt comes in with his wiener wagon, and then Ben and Joel just sort of say, oh, you got rejected 12 times or whatever it is. And then Joel starts doing something disgusting. I'm not even going to mention what he does, but that made me laugh. And then Wyatt sort of talks to Ben whilst Joel is getting ready to head off. And then he starts saying this stuff, and there's like a tune that goes in the background, so you think it's part of the music. It's actually, was it Timmy? I think it's Timmy from the Block or something like that, and he's playing the flute. And then he says, sorry, I don't know what his reason was for playing it, and he had to walk off eventually. And this is where it starts. They get on the wiener wagon. I'm probably not going to mention the scenes in order, but they get on it and they're in a diner. I'm not sure what part of the movie this is. I think it's like after the start, somewhere like that. And then the waitress comes in. She overhears them talk about the therapist, Dr. Dwayne. And then she says, oh, Dr. Dwayne, I had a nice time with him that night. And then you think, oh, she's bigging him up. It's typical of these comedy movies, man, and shows too. But this is a movie, so I'm just going to be talking most about movie references here. So yeah, so basic comedy movies. It's all the dialogue is so expected. She says, oh, he's an a-hole, so yeah, go get him. Like, that scene kind of made me laugh. And then also the scene where they're basically running with someone like, basically that drives a tofu truck as well. I'm not going to mention what the woman does in the van, basically. And also, White also causes a scene where he talks back to them and start trying to confront them, but it didn't quite work. And then another scene where they come across these like Mr. and Mrs. Applebaum, and and then they're sort of like a freaky old couple, and she starts talking about what they do together and what they get up to and their love story and their life story as well. And then they start doing it in front of the three of them. And this happens after the wiener wagon just breaks. And just in case you're wondering, please watch this whole movie through before watching my video, because this is a classic. And also mention as well, they also had what was the interaction before this scene? Oh yes, when they were like in a town that looked empty, and Wyatt is he's trying to give away 3 hot dogs. And this is what Ben and Joe was walking around. This guy comes in like his car, wherever he's driving. He's like dressed up in a cowboy outfit. I don't know what his name is. I didn't get his name. He didn't say his name, because he comes out and he just and then he just starts he just starts like sucking Wyatt's finger. It's movie, man. Oh lord. Even the facial expression of the characters as well just makes me laugh. Especially when that other couple was doing it, and it shows the guy's face just like really into it. Oh, but another scene where Wyatt's Wiener wagon, ornament, a hood ornament, got stolen by the people that drive the tofu truck. And they tried to chase after it, but then they noticed the tofu truck just, going the opposite way, so it must have made a turn. So I don't know where it made the turn, but it made the turn somewhere. This goes. There's quality in comedy movies like this. I'm not really talking about shows, but this is like mostly movie related, so don't confuse any of you here. But in comedy movies like this, there's always something like this happening, usually. And then the Wiener wagon just sort of hits the bridge, and they sort of have to put like sellotape on it. You see it sellotape on it. And they also take a trip to the fun fair. And after they got after they enter Ben into like a bodybuilding competition because the wallets got stolen by 3 girls that kissed them, and then they had chewing gum in their mouths. That was a bit nasty, to be fair. Don't really know why they did that, but yeah, I knew there was something weird gonna happen. I thought they were gonna be set up, but didn't expect that to happen. So they entered Ben had this hot body competition, and Ben didn't want to do it because he had a flashback when he was a kid and his mum kept tormenting him and kept hassling him and kind of bullying him in a way to be better. And then Ben just sort of runs off. He comes across like someone called Walrus Man. He starts talking about his life story and how he became better, and that sort of gave Ben motivation. And that's when he enters it, and that's when he does actually do it, and he wins. But then the guy who was competing against, he put his hair in like some water, and he starts flicking around, and he just dies, and that's how Ben won the competition. I don't know what was happening. And that's when he started. I think the third round is after this. This is a classic. I'm telling you, this is a classic. It's when they go in, then just having fun at the third round, and they're on the bumper cars, and then this young girl just sort of, she's in a bumper car, and she, bear in mind, this is after like I think Ben sort of like was here with the bumper car first, and that's when Wyatt and was it Ben or Joel, they were each going up against like this girl, and they both speed up, and and they hit a bumper car at the same time, and she just goes flying out the car. That just absolute quality. And after there's someone that was dressed up in like some sort of smiley face or something. I think it was a smiley face. And Wyatt wanted to get something off him, like some sort of snack, and he starts like hitting him a little bit too, and starts to run off. Brilliant. I can't stress enough. This is just brilliant. And then this is where Joel has to confront his demons and start to become tougher. And he had this sort of vision where he ran into his old high school bully, and that's when he starts to get a bit of fighting. And the people from like the tofu van, this sort of tofu truck, I think it might be. No, it's a van. I think I'm gonna say van, basically. Or truck is better. It doesn't make more sense. And then that's when Joe just sort of comes and just sort of fighting them. Quality. I don't know where he got the fighting skills from, but he definitely had it in him somewhere. And oh my god, I'm forgetting one scene that was so good in it. That was also good in this movie. Oh my god, what was that scene? Oh yes, when they saw the old high school teacher, Miss Isaacs. I would say Miss Isaac. And then they sort of visualize her when they sort of remember being as a teacher, have a flashback, and they saw she's all fit looking. When they went to see where she lives at now, she's this crazy like scruffy looking woman, and she sort of and then she sort of gets drunk, and then the dog comes in. There's a dog that just comes in and just starts. I mean, we could describe what the dog is doing, but it was disturbing. I'm not even gonna say that bit. That's just weird and nasty. But you can watch it for yourself. Then you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, and then it comes up towards the end where Joel is just punching who he thinks is Dr. Dre, but it's actually a decoy because Dr. Dre knew that they were coming. He heard back and stuff like that. And then this is like an interesting piece of dialogue that they give out here. And I skipped the Dr. Dre scenes, right? I've only mentioned that bit at the start because it's relevant. The rest of it I wasn't going to mention. But they did see him as a bit of an a-hole character. And just because of, how he talks to people. I see what he's trying to do. I see how they try to make his character. They make him trying to be very honest and brutal. It's like Dr. Blaine from TikTok. If you haven't seen him already, yeah, please do. He's a funny dude on there. I see where he's trying to go with it, and his dialogue's quite true in that one as well. But they mask it with humour. This is what Dr. Drain is doing, and he's trying to be like trying to motivate them and trying to say, I forgot what dialogue he said, but it actually meant something. And he was like, I see where he's trying to go, and even though he's a bit bullish towards like his other like clients, he was like, I see where he's trying to go with it. So trying to motivate them to be better and do better. And Joel also became better, and Wyatt got like he got like, you know, an investment for somebody that, what was the dude's name? I should call these names, but the homeless dude that he gave like money to, or I don't know, he tried to give, I think he was sending him a hot dog or something, and these are the homeless dude, he actually helped him to get better. Ben made a speech about stuff which was quite short. Yeah, and then Joel became a bell all of a sudden. I think at the end where they just you know, just mentioned about what they did to improve and how they got better afterwards. Yeah, it was quite nice to see. And then they did the outtakes at the end, which is what I love. I like outtakes and make me laugh, especially like, to be fair, it's any sort of genre of movie I kind of outtakes. Same as shows, but talking about movies here, so I like outtakes. They make the, you know, what you're watching more fun. You know, this goes to show how much effort and time it takes to do even one scene with not even much dialogue. It's still difficult. Like, acting is difficult. I did drama back like, you know, well, primary school, high school, and a bit of college. It's really tough, and it can be very awkward. That's why I don't think I could be an actor. You know, I've been told I've got actor traits to me. I don't think I could do it. It's just not for me. So yeah, boy, and yeah, it was that overall. That's the movie, I guess. I described the main bits. I don't want to go too much of it like I used to. You know, describing the whole movie will get boring and dull at some point. But yeah, wow, I'm glad I watched it. I was not disappointed. That movie was out recently, a few weeks ago. I think on was it the 3rd or 4th of this month it came on Netflix. Brilliant. I had a feeling it was going to be good by the time it was about. I didn't think it was going to be this good. And it wasn't that stupid and daft. It was actually good humour on a good level. I would say I'm going to call it realistic humour. Something you would actually laugh at properly. It's not just dumb, silly stuff. This is proper humour in a movie. Maybe it might not be everyone's cup of tea because of what it's about and how silly it can be. I get that. But this is a must watch. I would highly recommend it. So yeah, rating for this. It's simple, right? I'm going to give this a 10. I'm not going overboard. This is a 10 out of 10 movie. I cannot see where the negative part is in this movie. I can't give it any lower. If I gave it lower, that means it has to be a negative. There's not a single negative. Acting was perfect for this movie. Characters were perfect for this movie. The cast was perfect. Dialogue, storyline. I mean, the humour, right levels of humour in every department. I could go on. I can't think of anything else. Everything was superb. Whoever made this movie, I hope you got a pay rise out of this because you deserve it. Whoever made this, this is what it is. I mean, this is a movie. Right? It's an hour and a half long. Brilliant. It's well worth the watch from start to finish. I highly would recommend this movie. If you're looking at good, solid humour, this is it. I can't see how this wouldn't be popular and liked in the future. I really can't. I don't know when it came. I think it must have came. I know it came on Netflix a few weeks ago. I don't know when. I think it might have came out this year or last year. So it definitely is a recent movie. Or was it earlier? It might actually be early. No, I'll double check anyway. But yeah, no improvements. Everything else was just fantastic. I don't know what's going on. I don't usually find a lot of good recent movies that are 9 or 10 worth, even 8s. This is incredible. I hope we can keep this one going. I hope the next movie is just as good. Because I've got Amazon Prime. And I have saved the new Ballerina movie. This time it's the actual Ballerina movie, not the one I watched on Netflix. This is the one with John Wick in it. So you know what? I can't wait to watch that. I'm probably going to watch that next Wednesday. And bear in mind too, we do have to pack something for the move. So I'm not sure if I'll be able to do any movie reviews then. I might just take a break because the Premier League's back next week, and because of the United match on, I'll end up doing obviously more of those. So I'll probably do movie reviews here and there, but I'll see. TV show Thursdays would still be a thing. But I can still do that during the day. It's not a problem. But yeah, maybe I might take a break from movie reviews. I don't know yet. But next week I'm going to do more of them. Just before we do end that movie, get as much more movies and shows in as possible, so I don't have to think about watching them back, because they would end up leaving Netflix and Prime. So I have to watch them while they're still available. I do have one I want to watch on Monday. That's called Blitz. That's going to be leaving in 4 days. I think 4 days is Tuesday. Yeah, so yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, Tuesday I have to watch it possibly on a Monday. Yeah, so that's alright. That's fair enough. I don't know rant on too much about this, as let all of you know. But yeah, 10 out of 10 that is. If you enjoyed the video, please give a like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification below, and so see you in the next video.